Hello, everybody. I'm Dave McClelland, along with Steve Evans. We're at Indianapolis Raceway Park for all the excitement of the 28th Annual U.S. Nationals. Top Fuel Eliminator, round number 2 is at the starting line. Round number 2 of Top Fuel Racing at the U.S. Nationals, Shirley Muldowney against Mark Oswald. Shirley qualified in the number 2 spot with a spectacular 5.57 second elapsed time. Mark Oswald, the number 6 qualifier. But of course, as you saw in round number 1, the big story here, the gigantic wheel stand by the Candies and Hughes car. Steve had a chance to talk to Mark.
Right, a sensational job of driving in the first round with the wheels in the air half the time. Are you going to keep them down against Shirley?
Oh, definitely. You can't win a race like that. We were lucky to get by that round. We calmed it down quite a bit now, and I think it's going to run pretty good.
By calm it down, you mean?
Oh, try to keep the front end on the ground. It had too much clutch in it.
Oswald will need that clutch adjustment to beat this woman, Shirley Muldowney. She is the winningest woman driver in all of motorsports. A 2-time world champion against now the fastest car in all of drag racing, the Big Blue Machine from Louisiana, Candies and Hughes, the car owners, Mark Oswald, the driver. And it's up in smoke. Shirley Muldowney has an easy win. Mark Oswald losing traction. How about consistency for Shirley? 5.62 seconds at over 252 miles an hour. A great run. The next pair already fired. Here is the quickest car in all of drag racing. You saw it in round number 1 as Gary Beck ran a 5.48 seconds. Here he's running Doug Kerhulis in the second round. Steve's had a chance to catch up with Shirley Muldowney.
Shirley Muldowney continues to saw him off. Jeb Allen first round, now the world's fastest dragster, Mark Oswald. Shirley, he smoked the tires right off the line.
Did he? We thought that he would do that, yes.
Well, I hear your motor behind us talking to us. It's popping and cracking a little bit, but not a drop of oil anywhere.
That's good. Well, it was a little easier run, and I might have shifted it a little soon. I don't know, but I guess it was good enough.
Gary Beck, his eyes concentrating on the racetrack that has provided the traction thus far for his 5.48 seconds. He qualified number 1 and set the record at a 5.54. He's racing against the number 13 qualifier from Bakersfield, California, Doug Kerhulis, in the show at 5.80 seconds. Kerhulis, having one of the best seasons of his career, has now got one of the toughest races he's ever faced against the quickest man in the sport with the wheels in the air. Beck backs out of it, brings him back down. It's a close race, and Gary Beck wins it. 5.63 seconds. His speed only 243 miles an hour, and he pulled that out in just the last few feet. As we watch again at the start, look at the front end come up on Gary Beck's car. He backs off, the wheels back on the ground. He is trying his best to pull ahead of Doug Kerhulis, and the mighty horsepower of the Larry Minor car pulls it out at the last few feet.
Gary Beck celebrating his 10th anniversary here at the U.S. Nationals. He won it back in 1972 for the first time. Doug Kerhulis shakes his hands. What a job of driving, GB.
Yeah, it's leaving awful hard, and it's lifting the left side up real high. We've been concerned about it. We added a little bit of lead to it. We'll probably have to put a little more on it. Track's getting better and better every round.
With the traction available, Gary Beck adding lead to the front end of the car, to the front axle, to hold those wheels on the ground. These two cars have just watched what's happened. Connie Kalitta, qualified number 11. He is the father of the father-son team. We saw Scott go out in round 1. Dick LaHaie, qualified number 7. But at this point, it is anybody's race. Dick LaHaie from Lansing, Michigan, against his longtime friend from Ypsilanti, Michigan, Connie Kalitta. Kalita's already won an NHRA national event this season, winning the Grand Nationals title up in Canada. Both drivers taking their time, building some horsepower in the engines. As the engines get hotter, the more horsepower that they develop. The nitromethane fuels LaHaie and Kalitta, and the wheels come off LaHaie's car. Both front wheels fall off LaHaie's car. After a bit of a wheel stand, it skids to a stop. Kalitta is already gone, the engine shut off, and he is coasting to a stop at the far end of the track. But LaHaie starting to climb out of the car. Let's watch again and see if we can see what happens. Severe shake in the car. As you can see, the wheels just crumple over. And he brings the car to a safe stop. No injury to Dick LaHaie. But what a way to lose a race to Connie Kalitta, to have your front wheels fall off right at the starting line. The car being towed off the racetrack and will be taken back into the pits. Steve has a chance to talk to Connie.
All right, Connie Kalitta listening to the PA back here to see who has lane choice when he races Gary Beck, as they both ran the exact same elapsed time. They're comparing the speeds now to try to select a lane choice, as we can hear the public address announcer, Connie.
That shouldn't be that way. The
Lane choice just went to Beck.
That's not right. Do you think so?
Well, they're exactly the same elapsed times to the
Well, you
thousand.
should toss a coin for it as quickest time.
You can go lobby for that.
Some you're going to win, some you don't.
Well, you and Gary Beck with identical elapsed times, that's not a race, that's more of a war.
Yeah, it is. But the lane choice could be very critical. So we'll just take the best shot at it. What can we do?
Well, maybe you can convince him to flip.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about it.
Steve, it sounds like Connie is going to be the racer rather than the politician this weekend. Here's the man that has found Christmas at the Nationals. This is Billy Williams. We saw him explode an engine. The car went off the track. He was able to keep it upright. He repaired the damage, and he got the break when Lucille Lee crossed the center line in round number 1. And Billy Williams moves into the semifinals against Shirley Muldowney. Gary Beck against Connie Kalitta. 4 cars remain for one of the biggest purses ever in top fuel racing at the U.S. Nationals.